Well, hello and good morning once again, everyone. Welcome into Night Talks. Well, folks, if I don't see you tomorrow, I want to be the first to wish you a very happy Easter. The end of Lent is here, and we now celebrate the fulfillment of Christ's promise as he becomes the sacrifice in which marks the covenant between God and man. And we also approach the end of April. We also mark the beginning of a new chapter in the state of Ohio as our current State Deputy Jeff Kiliany ends his 2-year term in office, and we wanted to get him on today to discuss his time in office, what he has learned, and what he hopes for the future of the Knights of Columbus. So let's welcome in our current State Deputy, Mr. Jeff Kiliany. Jeff, how are you today?
Hi, Eric. Doing great.
Good.
Beautiful day today. Sun shining here in Leetonia, Ohio.
Yes,
I
yes,
hope
it is.
There too.
Oh yes, well we're enjoying some good weather today, and it's almost gardening season is in full effect. Is almost in full effect now. Are you a gardener?
Yes, I am, but I haven't had time to really do anything. That's one of the downfalls of being a state deputy.
That is true. You are a very busy man, and we do thank you for taking some time from your busy schedule to talk to us today. And do you have any Easter plans coming up for this weekend?
The family will be over. My 3 children, grown children, all will be here with their families, and we'll spend the day on Easter Sunday with them. So we're looking forward to that.
Well, excellent. Well, that sounds like a wonderful Easter. And once again, we want to wish everyone a very happy Easter tomorrow, and hope that you are joined by friends and family. But before we go into this interview, let's, as we do always, begin in prayer. I want to thank my wife, Katie Loprete, for providing this prayer today. So we will begin in the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. God, my Father, may I love you in all things and above all things. May I reach the joy in which you have prepared for me in heaven. Nothing is good that is against your will, and all that is good comes from your hand. Place in my heart a desire to please you, and fill my mind with thoughts of your love, so that I may grow in your wisdom and enjoy your peace. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Katie, thank you very much for that prayer once again. And as we continue on here, once again, we welcome in our current State Deputy, Jeff Kiliany, who will be ending his 2-year term next month, as we will have a new State Deputy at the end of our Ohio State Convention, which we will talk about during council announcements. So first thing, Jeff, once again, welcome in. So how are you feeling with less than a month to go as our current state deputy?
Well, we're kind of excited. My wife Judy and I kind of count down the days. Actually, you're correct. We have a new state deputy that will be elected at the state convention. So that's the Memorial Day weekend in May. So just a little over a month to go for that. And he'll be pretty much running things for the month of June. He'll have a trip to New Haven that he'll be doing for about the weekend of first weekend in June. Also, he'll be doing his organizational meeting in June with his state team, introducing his new programs and team members. And then he's responsible for the district deputy meeting a little bit later in June for that weekend. So, but otherwise, I still have another 75 days as of Holy Thursday, today, that we're taping this. We still have another 460 new members that we need to get by the end of the fraternal year, June 30th. So we'll be working hard to get those members. We have 59 star councils as our quota. We did that last year, and we'll talk about that also. And we're, we have a lot of work to do, but looking forward to finally having some time to do some things for myself.
Well, and Jeff, I was actually just going to ask a follow-up question on what you just said. The new incoming state deputy, he will have have to put his team together in place and attend these meetings. Do you remember what it was like for you when you first started, and just kind of some of the things that may have went into putting your team together and just kind of organizing your administration?
That took a lot of planning, and a lot of time went into that as well, Eric. Well before I became state deputy, we sat down and put together a state program for the councils with suggested activities, things like that. We started probably a year before my time as state deputy, planning, choosing directors and people to fill various roles, talking with the other state officers on who they would like to see take on positions of responsibility in their diocese, who would help us with our cause, all that sort of thing. So, it was about a year leading up to my time as state deputy, and I had a lot of suggestions, a lot of help. A lot of guidance from the past state deputies along that way, which we're doing with Mike right now.
And that's so great to hear that there's just such that easy transition of power between state deputies. It's like just handing. It seems like it's just handing the baton off. And that's how easy. Yes. I mean, with all this planning that goes in, that's how easy it seems that happens. But I know it's not as easy as it just saying it.
No. Appearance-wise, yes, it's easy, but it's not. A lot of time and thought goes into it.
And Jeff, kind of as another question, as you said, you've been leading the state of Ohio for the last 2 years. You've been leading it very well. Under your administration, we received the Star Council Award. But when you kind of look back, do you see yourself have you learned anything about yourself in your time as a state deputy, trying to accomplish these goals and continuing just to try to keep the Knights of Columbus as strong in Ohio as we currently are right now?
Well, the one thing I learned is that I'm not as organized as I thought I was. I took pride in being a organized person, but this was so immense that there were so many times that I didn't have time to file away notes and handouts and things for meetings, and they ended up just getting thrown on a pile on the floor, and just I don't like to come into a messy office, but if you saw my office now, it's really unorganized. I know where everything is, what file it's in. It's just a matter of going directly to it. But I'll have plenty of time to get things straightened out here in 75 days anyways.
Well, I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one who walks into a messy office every day. So, so with that being said, as you look back, also, what do you think your team's biggest accomplishment was?
By far, Circle of Honor. The state hadn't had the Circle of Honor in 8 years, so. That was a truly great accomplishment in achieving that, and we're striving to do that again for a second year. That's even rarer that we've had 2 consecutive Circle of Honors. I don't know how far back that would go. We would have to do some research, but it's been a few state deputies ago that they've had 2 consecutive Circle of Honors. I would think maybe Larry Megling, I'm pretty sure, had 2 Circle of Honors. Gary Eckstein was another state deputy that had 2 Circle of Honors. So that goes back. I don't know if there's anyone since then that had 2. Bob Collins, I know, had 1. I don't think he had 2 Circle of Honors. So that's something we're working towards. I think our biggest accomplishment, though, aside from Circle of Honor, was that we're beginning to develop a a star council mindset among our councils in the state.
I agree.
This last year we had 65 councils that made star council. The year prior to that, I think it was only around 35. So, we almost doubled our star council number. And after this past successful year, a lot of councils are striving to work towards star council right off the bat, right at the beginning of the fraternal year. They're making sure that all their paperwork and reports are submitted on time. They're working towards, getting fraternal benefit events in, making sure their members that need the youth protection are compliant in that. Last year, we had a lot of councils that qualified for Star Council with their membership quotas, but didn't have any of the other requirements taken care of. And there was a big scramble in the months of May and June for councils to get those taken care of. And they're doing that right off the bat now. We're in much better shape, Star Council-wise, across the state. So that's something that we're striving to improve. Obviously, that's something that Mike Filerski is going to continue to work on, and the rest of us state officers as well, is getting councils to think about being a Star Council right off the bat.
Yeah, and
hopefully we get 80 this year.
Yes, I hope we do too. And I did want to just interject here and say, I know we are still striving to get those 400 some odd members in so that we can get to that Star Council the Star or the Circle of Honor. Circle of Honor. Right. Thank you very much. See, you're a good leader. That's why we elected you. But what do you attribute to the growth? I mean, I know we said we wanted to come out guns blazing, get people signed up. I mean, it must be fantastic for you to see the number of people that want to join the Knights of Columbus because they are so strongly passionate about their faith. Exactly. Yes, I know the core program that we're introducing and really pushing this year is going to help with that. We're just getting council started in that, and I'm not going to see the benefits of that, but our future state deputies certainly will, and that will help grow our membership, spiritually, and bring them closer together as a brotherhood as well. That's something that is a positive note, and that's something that we really want to grow over the next couple of years. Absolutely, and we will talk more about that as we return from break. You are listening to Night Talk here on Annunciation Radio with our State Deputy Jeff Kiliany. We'll be right back, everyone.
Do you love sharing the gospel and want to learn to be more effective? Join the St. Paul Street Evangelization Online School of Evangelization. You will learn to build bridges of trust and make disciples by befriending strangers, proclaiming the gospel, inviting people to the church, and praying with others. We'll ask for a pledge of financial support, but if you are unable to give, we'll give you a membership at no cost. Find out more and get involved today at streetevangelization.com. That's streetevangelization.com.
Well, good morning once again, and welcome back into Night Talk here on Annunciation Radio. My name is once again Eric Loprete. Joining me today is our current State Deputy Jeff Kiliany as we kind of go over his reflecting in his time in office and what he'd still like to accomplish, and how the Knights are stronger now than maybe they ever have been. Before we go back to Jeff, we have some council announcements that we do need to take care of. Want to remind everyone, Priest Appreciation Dinner is April 29th, 2025 at Greystone Hall in Perrysburg. Event starts at 5:30. Dinner is $40 a person, or you can buy an 8-person table for $320. Please contact Chapter President Matthew Stapleton for more information at 419-509-5987. The state of Ohio is putting on an e-membership incentive drive. Councils that bring in the most members via e-membership until the end of the month will be qualified to win a $50 Domino's Pizza gift card. St. John the 23rd will be having their 2025 charity golf outing on Saturday, July 19th at Riverby Hills Golf Club. Registration begins at 7 a.m. Shotguns start at 8:30. If interested in sponsoring or playing, please contact Todd Finch at kfctodd@gmail.com. We also invite you to join the Toledo chapter on April 24th at St. Pat's of Heatherdowns as they host a Meet the Candidates night at the monthly chapter meeting. Attendees will get a chance to hear from and ask questions to both gentlemen running for state warden, Mr. Stu Vetter and Mr. Greg Singler. Council 14344 will be hosting their past Grand Night dinner on September 13th. Council members and past Grand Nights of Council 14344 River East Mother Teresa, please contact myself, Eric Loprete 4@gmail.com if you wish to join. The 126th Annual State of Ohio Knights of Columbus Convention is set for May 23rd through the 25th in Cleveland. Please get on kfcohio.org if you wish to register and book a hotel room. Please act fast, however, as rooms and registrations are beginning to fill up for this wonderful event. And lastly, Off the Streets drop-off points will continue at St. Joe's of Maumee. That is every Saturday from 8 until 12. On the third Saturday, they will be doing their drop-offs until 12. And at St. Ignatius in Oregon, they will be having their drop-off point. That will actually be next Saturday from 11 until 1. So that's going to do it for council announcements. Once again, welcome back into Night Talk. My name is Eric Loprete. With me today is Mr. Jeff Kiliany, who is our current state deputy. And as he heads toward his last 75 days in office, we're just here reflecting on his time. One thing that we kind of hit on before we went to break was how CORE has ignited membership in the state of Ohio. A lot of councils are just starting to get involved with CORE. Some councils have been involved with CORE. So, Jeff, when CORE, we've talked about it a number of times on this radio show. Council members, I'm sure that go to council meetings, have heard about CORE as well. What do you think is how have you seen CORE continue to work in councils?
It's not only councils, but the parishes, because it's open to men of the parish, not just members of the Knights of Columbus.
That's true.
But it brings them closer together as a brotherhood, discussing things that may be involved their family life, their married life, fatherhood, their spirituality, just so many different topics and subjects that the different groups discuss. They have a session where they start out with prayer, and then they may see a short film clip or something, maybe on the life, the particular section out of the gospel or something, or maybe it's about someone's home life, maybe about their marriage, and maybe some problems with the marriage, things like that. And then the group gets together and discusses what they've seen, what they're thinking, and how it affects them, and maybe what they've done to overcome some of these problems, or their views on something that involved the life of Christ, whatever. And sometimes they get into some pretty deep discussions, and then they finish it off with a little fraternity. Maybe they'll have pizza and a beer or something that they'll share and sit down and maybe continue talking about what we're discussing earlier, or maybe they'll be talking about something, maybe about their family life or something going on in the town or their parish. So it just brings them a lot closer together, sharing these stories and thoughts and ideas.
Those are excellent points, and we also invite everyone, if you would wish to learn more about CORE, please go to the state website, kfcohio.org. There are plenty of pamphlets and videos and ideas for how you can implement CORE into your council. Jeff, kind of wanted to get back to you, however. We talked before, this was a very successful term for you. We reached the Circle of Honor. You had a great organized state staff that was obviously, you, as we said before, you worked really hard to get that organization in place. But I'm sure you're going to name your wife, Judy, as one of your biggest supporters because, she's given you to us to serve for the last 2 years, and we can't thank her enough for that. But who may be some of the other people that have just been your biggest supporters and have really just helped you get through the last 2 years?
Yeah, you're right, Eric. Judy would come first because she's just shared me with all of you for these past 2 years. And, just understanding that I need to sit down and sit in on a Zoom meeting or go here, go there for that meeting or that function. And a lot of things that she would like to have done around the house or spend time with me just hasn't happened. But getting back to your question, just everyone on the team, I would have to start off with, Andrew Knuckles, our growth director, and his team of the diocesan growth people. We had monthly meetings and talked about strategies and ideas, and they just made everything come together as far as membership here in Ohio. Greg Singlar, also our e-membership director, played a big key role in growing the state. Chris Dodson, our district deputy director for the state, and his team of diocesan directors just did an outstanding job of keeping the district deputies in tune with what we're doing so that they could relay that information back to the councils across the state. Those people just worked so hard together, and like I said, last May and June when we were crunch time getting councils qualified for Star Council, those people played a real key role in making that happen. Mike Jordan, our previous general program director for the state, who passed away early this fraternal year, he was real key in putting together his team of state directors in that, Joe Hartle, Stu Vetter, Tim Mangan, and Mark Cahansa. And I owe a debt of gratitude to Ken Gert, past state deputy, not only for doing his monthly Star Council reports that kept us up to date on where we were and where we needed to go to get Star Councils, but he stepped in to take over Mike Jordan's spot then as general program director for the state. He's doing an excellent job. We didn't miss a beat by losing Mike because Ken was someone involved with developing the program before he started my term, so he was real knowledgeable about what was going on. All those people, all the district deputies all across the state are just unreal, Eric. I mean, you included. They took our message and ran with it to the councils, and the councils bought into what we were saying, and a lot of that was thanks to all the district deputies across the state. Just so many people involved. We could be another episode just talking about all that, Eric. So I'll leave it at that.
All right. Well, yeah.
I'm sure I missed a bunch of people, but.
Well, the two things I just wanted to hit on there is we do want to, obviously always send our condolences to the family of Michael Jordan. He did leave a very big impact on the Knights, and I continue, and I didn't know him personally, but I continue to hear stories about him just from people who did know him. He was a fantastic individual. And then also, like you said, you just wanted to thank everyone, and I can attest to how good Chris Dotson has been at his job, especially educating me, someone who just walked into being a district deputy in his first year. So you're absolutely right. Those guys did a fantastic job. So now that you're going to be stepping down as state deputy, you're going to be going into the Charity Foundation. And can you explain a little bit about that role?
Sure. The Ohio Charity Foundation is comprised of a group of all our past state deputies, as well as the current state officers in the state of Ohio. So I've been involved with it for all the years that I've been a state officer, but not as a past state deputy. And I'll tell you, that group of past state deputies, that's an elite group. That's something that I'm excited to say I'm a part of. Those guys have been so instrumental in helping me and grooming me as a state officer, and then preparing me to become a state deputy. Their involvement has just been tremendous. As a matter of fact, we just had a Zoom meeting of all the state deputies in Division 1 across the United States Monday night, and that was one of the things that I mentioned was how those state deputies prepared me for my time as state deputy here in Ohio. And actually, the Supreme Director that runs the meeting and the program asked me to put together some thoughts and ideas that we do here in Ohio that he could maybe share throughout the order.
Excellent. Well, Jeff, we have about 30 seconds left. I know the half hour goes really, really fast. But right. Just would you like to say some parting words or some advice to the next state deputy?
My biggest advice is be prepared for the time. It's going to take a tremendous amount of time, and he's going to be giving up a lot of time. So just be ready for that. And those are things that I've told Mike over and over about how much time is involved. And I've been helping him along as well for the last year. So he's well prepared to step in as state deputy.
Excellent. Well, Jeff, thank you so much once again. You have been an absolute inspiration in your time as state deputy. We want to thank you so much. And we want to thank all of you for listening. Thank you for listening to Night Talk once again. Happy Easter, and we will see you next Saturday.